Hi, everybody. Well. Long time no see. You guys might be wondering where the heck I've been, because I've officially been off of YouTube and all social media platforms for about 1 year now. Or you might just have forgotten about me, and that's okay too. And I wanted to come on because my life has taken a significantly different direction. It's been quite the transformative year, and a lot of it was very confusing. And I want to come on and share that with you guys and kind of let you know where I'm going to be making some very large changes to my YouTube channel and the direction that my content is going to take. I feel like I owe all of you an explanation, as I have built up this astrology platform, although my channel is still very small and I'm very grateful for the following that I have. I just want to explain what happened, where I've been, where I'm headed, and then give you the opportunity to decide if you want to stick around or not. So if you're interested in kind of knowing my little spiel and my story, then stay tuned. All right, y'all. So I am still residing in Southwest Florida. And around the time that I resigned from doing astrology professionally last year, I would say about 3 months prior to that, I moved here. So I moved across the country from Michigan, and I was pretty regularly just sitting at my desk every day, from the minute I woke up at night to the minute I went to bed. And I was pretty much a hermit, not really going out very much, not being social, doing all of those types of things. While that's completely fine, I believe that there's a rhyme, a reason, and a season for all of those types of things. I felt like my life was definitely pulling me in a very, very different direction and away from that 100%. I love astrology, hands down. It's still one of my most favorite things. I've actually received emails from several of you asking me, are you still doing astrology professionally? Can we get a reading? Where are you? What's going on? And it was so nice to hear from so many of you, and just to hear that you cared and all of those kinds of things. Now, while I was feeling very, very introverted, the last thing I wanted to do was be public or be on a camera, because at the beginning of the year, for at least the first 8 months, it was very confusing and disheartening. I was a teacher in the Cosmic Academy of Astrology with Heather Eland, and I had a pretty successful run with my astrology business. And I was having regular clientele come in, which actually I had a full schedule for the next 2 months ahead that I ended up having to cancel, which, if you were one of those people, I am so very sorry, but it was only fair to you and to me, because something internally was shifting and it just wasn't right. Something wasn't right. And you do not deserve to pay money for a reading if I'm also not knowing what's going on and not 100% in it as well. So I really hope that you understand, especially being an astrology lover, that everything shifts and changes. And sometimes with large planetary transits, it can shift and change very quickly. So yes, it was disheartening. It was confusing because I kind of gave everything up. I shut down my website. I stopped my readings. I put in my resignation at the academy, and I finished up over a course of 3 months. So I kind of slowly wrapped things up, and then really just dedicated myself to doing some deep soul searching, and really just trying to be and not try to achieve, not really having any goals in mind or anything like that, so that I could get really deep within me and figure out, where am I going next? What am I doing? I know that I'm in a very different place. I know that physically, and I know that mentally and spiritually, and I need to figure out where that is calling me towards. Okay. So last year, we're going to go back to May of 2022. I had a very significant total blood moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on my birthday, right? And if anybody knows anything about solar return astrology, it is for sure that if you have a significant eclipse, or any eclipse for that matter, within a week or two, but especially like if you have it within a day or two, or on the exact day of your birthday, that eclipse is going to play a significant role in the year ahead. Now, as we know, eclipses are very karmic, they're very fated and destined, and they can turn our world upside down. Anything from, deaths happening that change and transform our life, to marriages or moving, or, just all kinds of crazy things can happen. So it was very interesting because shortly after this eclipse occurred, it was in my 5th house, which is my own personal creative business, because it can be creativity and all of those kinds of things. And it was a lunar eclipse, which is something that was ending. And this was a very significant eclipse for me because it was activating my prenatal solar eclipses or lunar eclipses. And it was shifting me away from one of my hobbies, interests, and something that I created a business in, and it was pushing me towards something entirely different. So even just the fact that it was a Scorpio eclipse, and Scorpio is the death and rebirth process in itself, and then me being in a 7-year in numerology, which is very much about spirituality, diving deep within yourself to figure out who you are, self-development, and just the death and rebirth process can also occur in a year like that too. Especially for someone that is a life path 7, which I am. So last year was a very pivotal year. Now, I'm going to boil this all down in a nutshell, and then I'm going to elaborate just a little bit more. But basically, what I figured out last year was that I had been going through several years of a spiritual awakening process that I made very public on my YouTube channel. And I, throughout that process, learned a lot about myself and wanted to share that and help other people. Well, I've started to realize that at this time, spirituality, astrology, and all of these things, yoga, just healthy living, all of these things were things that I needed to really learn and develop in my lifetime to help set me up for a successful future. While I thought this entire time that I was going to make them into a big career path, right? Now, I'm sure I could have done that, but something just did not feel entirely right. And I felt really strongly that I needed to focus on using these tools and techniques for myself, to help guide somewhere else that I was going, another journey that I was about to embark upon. And that it wasn't wasted information, it wasn't wasted time. It was me developing myself and the universe kind of handing me some tools and saying, here, you were struggling before. Here are some tools to help you get through the ups and downs, the constant ebbs and flows of life. And if you come across people along your journey, sure, help them out, whatever you need to do. But I started to really explore my chart, and I realized, I have a lot of Earth going on here. I've got Sun and Mercury in Taurus. My progressed midheaven is in Taurus. I've got my Mars in Capricorn, trining all my Taurus planets. And I am probably really well suited to do something very material and earthly that could be surrounding business matters, right? And I've really strangely in the past year, this is like so out of left field, like not within the ballpark of anything that I was doing, felt called to being a real estate investor. And I'm like, okay, what? Like, I'm sorry, but first of all, where am I even going to get the money to do this? You know what I mean? Like, why do I want to do that in the first place? So I just started researching, doing a lot of like searching online. I read a couple books and started to realize that one of the best things I could possibly do if I want to, because I'd love to have investment properties. I'd love to have my own rentals down here in Southwest Florida. There's a huge market for it, whether it be vacation rentals or rentals in general. I would love to do that living down here. And I love like working on the business side of things. I love anything that has to do with homes and interior decorating. I'm such a homebody myself. I love being at home. I love taking care of the home. what better thing for me to do? Help other people get placed in homes, find their home that they love. Like, what a special purchase, finding a home, right? So I thought to myself, years ago, around the same time that I started studying astrology, I was this close to getting my real estate license. And I thought, I would love to do investing in the future. That is a great long-term goal. As we have the North Node in Taurus, here I am like goal setting for 10 years down the road. But where can I begin? Because that seems so far-fetched and just so far away in the distant future. So the best thing I can do is get my real estate license, right? So I was like, okay, really? Am I really doing, like, what the hell is going on in my life right now? This is so vastly different than the direction I just came from, but I get it. So I had to spend literally like a couple months mourning where I came from, like what has happened to me over the past several years. It was very strange. Like, I was mourning Michigan. I was mourning doing astrology professionally. I was mourning working for Heather and like teaching in the academy. I was mourning just a lot of things. My neighbors are right outside my window, and they probably are looking at me like I'm the craziest person with my shades wide open recording a video on my bed. Anyways, we're going to continue on. So I decided to go for it after I mourned and like kind of moved away from everything that I had built up and started the process of moving away from that and accepting it and accepting that I have learned so much about myself in the past several years. I have gained so many strengths, and I have really mastered in a minor way. Mastery is a huge word. So I don't mean that I've mastered astrology by any means. Like, I consider myself very not a master. But for my own life, it's such a large tool that I have developed to be able to help myself and see, what's coming and what's going. And that's so helpful. So as this is all happening, I'm seeing it all play out in my life, learning the astrology as I go along, right? Which is so cool. And I can't help but think that I will be back to astrology someday. I can't help but think that it's like totally gone and I'll never come back to it. And I do it every day. I literally still love it. Now I just indulge in a lot of other astrologers and kind of watch their content, but I still do my chart every single day. I always am watching my transits. So anyways, here I am a couple months later into the fall, and we're entering that Mars retrograde period. And I decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start studying for my real estate license. So at the end of October, I bought a course and I did it. And it took me several months. I studied the whole month of November, December, and January. I just took my time with it. And I wanted to like make sure that I took my test outside of like all the retrograde windows and everything like that, because I hear that the real estate test was very, very difficult and that a lot of people do not pass it on their first time and it takes several times to pass. So I was like, okay, since retrogrades are like this back and forth thing, let's just really focus all of our efforts on passing the first time. So then come February, the end of February, I decided, okay, let's go ahead and schedule the test. And I took it in the beginning of March and I passed my first time, which is really exciting. So I am a licensed realtor in the state of Florida right now, and I am working for Coldwell Banker. So I started in the beginning of April, really just doing a lot of onboarding stuff, getting my website set up, all of those types of things, really starting to take some classes. I am in this program called the Closers Club right now, and just really starting to learn the ropes. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I apologize to anyone who appreciated and benefited from my content, that I just was inconsistent last year and just kind of dropped off without telling anyone. But I was also very confused about what the heck was going on. And I'm sure you can only understand, I'm sure you can imagine how upsetting it is to really think that you found what it is that you're supposed to be doing, only to find that that's not what it is. And, this has been a journey for me trying to figure out what my purpose is. But I am starting to realize that like your purpose changes, and you have many purposes in life, and you kind of just have to follow your joy. And I knew very, very much that the universe was trying to get me to go in a different direction, because even when I was trying to do readings from other people, the craziest thing was happening. And I was literally like having blanked out moments of losing information that I had known, that I had learned. And I knew that the universe was screaming at me to stop, to pause. Quit filling your schedule consistently every single day. And if you don't listen and you're not listening to what we're telling you to do, where your intuition is drawing you towards, then we're going to cut this off. You know what I mean? And I feel like that was kind of what was happening to me. So once I finally slowed down, stopped, and listened, it started giving me little hints of what was next. And even though it seemed so crazy, it makes a lot of sense. I'm about to have my nodal return this year in Aries in my 10th house, which is like a brand new career, right? Jupiter's been moving through my 10th house, and, just a lot of things going on. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And with the direction of my YouTube channel, if any of you were wondering. So as of right now, I really would just like to watch it unfold. I don't have any set in stone plans for exactly what's going to be taking place, but I do know that I want to document my journey of my new business career and becoming this new person and kind of like evolving into more of a businesswoman. And I think that's going to be an interesting thing to document. I want to do vlogs all about, day in the life of a realtor, or living in Southwest Florida, like the lifestyle that I live down here, how different it is, how beautiful it is to live in such an amazing place, live right by the ocean, having such beautiful weather and wildlife and flowers all the time. So I definitely want to document these types of things. So I'm thinking that it's going to be kind of a business-minded, motivational, inspirational, lifestyle and real estate channel. So I would love, love, love to invite you on this new journey with me. And I promise to make it lots of fun, but I completely understand if you are not wanting to go on this journey with me. And I just want to thank you. I want to thank you so very much for being with me up until this point. And I would also like to ask for your respect and understanding, even if you've never been through a transition like this in your life, that you please understand that, I didn't choose this. I didn't choose to build something up and study for years, only to, have it all change on the drop of a dime. But it's okay. And I understand, and I'm excited, and I'm kind of just rolling with it, which, 'tis life. You gotta roll with the punches sometimes. And I'm being flexible and kind of moving and flowing into the next stage of life as I should, and as should you. So if you would like to join me on this new adventure, I would be so forever grateful. And if not, I understand as well. And I just want to thank you again for being here with me up until this point. I would love to hear from you guys. What do you think? What do you think? Very strange transition. I hope you're all doing so well. I really missed you guys. We've had so much huge astrology since we all last connected, including obviously Pluto's transition into Aquarius, which, as you can see, there's a lot of new eras of life that are starting for a lot of people, as you can see with me as well. And I'm sure it's happening to a lot of you too. So if we've connected, even if we haven't connected, leave me some comments below. Where has life taken you? How are you doing? I miss you guys. And yeah, let me know what you think of, big life changes going on over here too. But keep an eye out, because I will be posting my first vlog video of my first month as a realtor and some of the things that I've been doing. So yeah, I love you guys so much. I'm really, really excited to start creating again. That is one thing I do know I love, is creating video. the creative process, editing, all of those types of things, and really connecting with you guys. And also, if you are looking to move to Southwest Florida, I had to plug this, duh, of course. If you're looking to move to Southwest Florida, if you need a rental, or if you know anybody, please send them my way. My website is www.yelena-crawford.com. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.